Hello and welcome to the inaugural episode of Chelsea's Chaos Chronicles. We've got a lot on our plates today. The order things are going to tend to go in is going to be author life, then oracle readings, then behind the scenes stuff if we have any, and then life vlogging. And some days may have all of those things, some days may only have one of those things. We'll just have to see how things work out. On our plate today with Author Life, I wanted to talk a little bit about my most recent release and the project I'm currently working on under my Rose James pen name because I have like 10 different pen names, but that's going to be a whole other video all by itself. So we'll get to that when we get to that. But for my Rose James pen name, I recently had a release on October 5th for A Smile Full of Lies, and it's an obsessed neighbor dark romance. And I found the most amazing set of ARC readers for that book. And they have made a huge difference in my writing life, how happy I am, and how well I'm doing as a writer because they found me and they loved this book. And I just wanted to give a quick shout out to them and say thank you so much for everything you do because you're amazing people. And in other news, with my writing life, I was planning to dive directly into A Heart Full of Obsession, which kind of immediately follows A Smile Full of Lies. But as I started working on it, there was way too much overlap with A Smile Full of Lies, considering that they're standalones. So I decided that I'm going to have to take a step back from that for a second, restructure my plan for the initial chapters of it so there's not nearly as much overlap. And so they feel like true standalones, and I get more focus on Alyssa and Emmett for their story. So I I wanted to keep working on something while I'm in the middle of figuring out how to restructure that. And I had a story that I've had a concept for forever, that is a dark romance Beauty and the Beast Christmas story. Like it's a Beauty and the Beast retelling, let me be clear. Ah, and it takes place at Christmas. And I've been playing with that idea off and on for a whole lot of years. And I said to myself, like the insane person I am, since I already have so many words done on this, why don't I see if I can try to get that out by Christmas of this year? Because I can put it in my Stonewood universe. It works well as a Christmas Beauty and the Beast retelling standalone in my Secrets of Stonewood universe. So why don't I see if I can do that? And it's a thing that I'm working on. I'm not making any promises that it will be out by Christmas. We're just gonna play with it and see what happens. But I do have like a lot of words done on it, but I'm not counting them toward my word count until I've officially been through and self-edited them a bit and got them aligned with how I want things to be for this new version of the idea that I've had since I started working on it this time. I tend to rework things a lot and change my mind a lot. It creates a lot more work for me in the process, but it ultimately helps me tell the kind of stories that I want to tell. So we just kind of have to roll with that level of chaos in my writing life. And I just wanted to let those of you who are interested in His Wicked Game, which is the name of this Christmas Beauty and the Beast retelling, dark romance, that I have officially been through and have self-edited 16,229 words of it so far. And I'm in the middle of like continuing to fix chapter 6 and like do not count on the chapter numbers being the same when the book gets released because my editor may break things up differently, but it's my chapter 6 for now. And I'm excited to get more into it, get more edits done, and get more words done on this story and see if I can get it out by Christmas. I don't know that I can, but it could be fun to try. And now we'll get into my oracle reading for the day. And this is a mixed deck oracle reading. And each deck kind of corresponds to a question. And I'll just roll with you through it and we'll see how things go. But my first deck that I always use in my mixed deck oracle readings is my What's the Tea deck. And then we just start seeing what kind of story the cards are telling us for the day for our little collective. And we're going to see how this goes. And sometimes the cards come out quickly, sometimes they don't. And I'm guessing that this shuffling is going to be some kind of ASMR. And like for those of you who like that, congratulations. For those of you who don't, I'm so sorry. Oh, there it is. So our first card that came out for What's the Tea is Cyberbully. You are being bullied online or they are. Someone has suffered from cyberbullying. The description on the card is a little confusing there, but so cyberbullying has come up as like our overarching situation right now. So you're having problems with someone in the online sphere. Interesting. And now we're going to grab our next set of cards for the day, which is always what lies beneath, which to me is indicative of like the deeper level of the situation, what's going on kind of underneath or behind the scenes. So let's get into our What Lies Beneath deck and see what it has to say about this cyberbullying situation. There we go. I keep dropping the cards. That's freaking fantastic. Okay. And the card that we got for What Lies Beneath is anger management. And I'm getting a need for anger management on your part in regards to the situation. And this like spookily applies to a situation in my life that I talked about on my Discord channel the other night for a minute. But it's better to just manage your anger as best you can and not give the cyberbully the satisfaction of, like making a whole big scene about it because ultimately that just gets them attention, which I feel like is what they want anyway. So don't give them what they want. And now we're going to move on to our next deck, which is always the What's Blocking You deck. Now, with this deck, it is a singles and relationships oracle deck, but I feel like a lot of times the cards can apply to things besides relationships or the fact that you're single or whatever. So I consider broader applications for the What's Blocking You card and see what it can tell us about whatever situation that we have gotten from our What's the Tea and What Lies Beneath cards. So let's see what's blocking us today. Sunday, November 23rd. Try not to draw cards this time. We'll see. Good night. Gonna be the difficult one, obviously. And I have tiny raccoon hands, so my hand is trying to cramp because this is a pretty big deck and the cards can get a little bit unwieldy for me with the tiny hands when I'm dealing with a big or a very thick deck or the card size by itself is big. Wow. And it fell on the floor anyway, because of course it did, naturally. So let's see what's blocking us. Playing games. Now, this is interesting to me. I like, to me, the first thing that comes to mind is like mind games. Somebody's playing mind games with you, but that may just be like the situation that I'm thinking about in application. It says you don't need to play games to keep the right one interested in you. To me, I don't know, this one feels more like the cyberbullying situation is somebody playing mind games with you and seeing what you'll do and seeing what kind of reaction they can get out of you. And honestly, like we don't want to give them anything. We really don't. But let's pull our next deck for this multi-deck reading, which is going to be the Clarifying Life Situations deck. And it's generally a love and career readings oracle deck. But like I said, I tend to think in broader applications for everything. So we'll just see what it has to say for today. And these cards are cool. They have an upright and reverse meaning. And we'll see how things come out. Sometimes I tend to read like both meanings. Let's see what card we get for clarifying our life situation today. There we go. And first one that didn't fall on the floor, but two more did, and they might apply. So we'll see about that. But the one that landed on my desk, aha, this one is applicable too. That's why it was refusing to go in the box. But let's go in order. So we have Vortex of Change. Engage with the vortex of change where energies swirl in transformative dances, molding anew. And the reverse of that is adapt to transformation. Embrace change with open arms, for it is the catalyst for your evolution and growth. So maybe this situation is going to help you grow in some way or another. Let me see what our other two cards that fell on the floor were, and then we'll get to the one that refused to go in the box. All right, the way these came up is we've got Valley of Shadows. Step into and the enveloping valley of shadows. Here, fears are faced, and the courage is forged in dimly lit paths. And the reverse of that is embrace courage, open your mind, learn from experiences, and let answers unfold in your journey. And I feel like maybe it takes courage to walk through this valley of shadows for you and to maybe stay silent in a situation that you feel like you shouldn't have to stay silent in because it's less messy that way, but there's more to come. So this one is Meadow of Moments, and it says bask in the meadow of moments where presence blossoms in the simplicity of now. And I think this is really just about kind of being here with yourself in the moment and experiencing life as it is right now. And you don't have to focus on all these what ifs and if onlys and things like that. And the reverse of this one is happiness is simple. Find joy in life's small wonders, for they hold the key to a fulfilling and contented heart. And that might just be a little note to say, yes, the situation that you're in sucks, but there are always bright spots to be found, and maybe we need to look for some of the brighter spots in this situation. And then we have the card that refused to go in the box. We've got Scales of Balance. Seek equilibrium in love and career, harmonizing your inner scale to weigh decisions with both heart and mind. And the reverse of that is Harmony's Call. Embrace equality and pursue justice, harmonizing the energies to manifest a balanced and just outcome. But I think sometimes justice isn't necessarily what we want it to be. It's more of just finding a way to be happy with yourself and your situation without being like, this other person should be punished for what they did. Karma will catch them eventually, and I am sure it will be delectable to watch. Now, let's look at our next deck, which is Time Oracle cards, and see what they have to say about timing regarding this situation. Oh, there's going to be change or movement in this situation in less than a month. Something is going to happen in less than a month from now. And you need to be on the lookout for that. Now, let's take a look at my Angel Signs deck. This is one of my favorite decks. It's relatively new, but it's gorgeous and we love it. Oh, there was one that tried to get stuck in the box, and I'm going to go ahead and show it to you guys. It says surrender. And just, is that not the most gorgeous card? Release your need to control the outcome, which perfectly aligns with the rest of the polls for this reading, honestly. Surrender is not powerlessness, but the sacred recognition that you are intricately connected to a higher intelligence, one that flows through you, not apart from you. Let's see if we have any other cards that want to come out of this deck for now. And then we'll be done with our reading portion of this. Oh, nope, we have one more deck after this deck. We have the Spirit Message Oracle deck. Oh, we did have another card come out. Gratitude, which also circles back to the Happiness is Simple and Meadow of Moments card from the Clarifying Life Situations deck. So we've got gratitude. Every moment of gratitude raises your vibration and strengthens your connection to the divine. Remember that there is always something to be grateful for and focus on this always. It's funny how that came out. Now, we'll get our Spirit Message Oracle card and then this mixed deck Oracle reading. And I do these most days. We'll be done for today. So let's see what Spirit Message we get. What Spirit Message we have today? All right. Have one pop right on out. Says, have more faith in yourself. Be proud of how you are navigating every curveball that life throws at you. How you deal with those times shows your true inner resilience. Nothing can break that. That in itself is an inspiration for others. Keep shining your light. And honestly, I think that wraps up this reading beautifully, you guys. And I don't have any real behind the scenes content for you today, except for some quick clips of me creating, not creating, but signing and addressing the Christmas cards for my readers. Which is exciting. I cannot wait to get those sent out. I've already sent out one batch, but there's like they're going out in multiple batches because I'm disorganized and I can't just sit down and do things all at one time. It like it just doesn't work like that in my life. And that brings us, oh no, this deck is trying to explode. That brings us to our life updates portion of this log. And I am just really excited to be getting ready for the Snowball Derby right now. And I'm just going to take a second to comment on the fact that I'm so sorry my glasses keep sliding down my face. I hate that. And I know you guys hate watching me push my glasses up 24/7 probably, but it just kind of is what it is. And we have to roll with it. But I'm super excited to go to the Snowball Derby. 58th annual, babe. It's the 58th annual Snowball Derby at Five Flags Speedway in Pensacola, Florida. I married into a racing family and I love them. And we go to the Snowball Derby every year. It's one of the biggest, if not the biggest, short track asphalt race in racing. And a lot of cool people come to it. Who all was coming this year, babe? Kyle Busch, Noah Gragson, Stephen Nassy. We love Stephen. Hi, Stephen. There's always a lot of cool people there, cool things to see. The races are excellent, and I personally love the track food. Um, and all the vendors that come, they have like amazing desserts almost every year, and I love that personally. So that's all we've got coming up in our lives right now, and I hope you guys have had a fantastic day. I'll see you again soon. Thank you for rolling with me through all my chaos.